Hey everybody, it's Sunday night and it's Tom Antion live from Virginia Beach. Chilly Virginia Beach. But no snow. All you northeasterners are going to get dumped on and you can have my share. I don't want the snow. I don't need it. I've had very little of it since I moved here. Just love it. I remember when I was in college, they recruited me for football up at Syracuse. I went up there and the snow was above my head. No thanks, not me. I don't need this. So glad you could make it, everybody. Hit your share button if you wouldn't mind to tell some folks we're going to be on tonight. And I'm warming my hands up here. I was just out with the dogs, getting them ready for bed. Miss Abby and Mr. Rubik's. Had a big week this week, and we have a fake sponsor tonight. Our fake sponsor, and this isn't a particular company. Hey, David, how are you? This is a type of product. This is a CR123 battery. That's our sponsor for today. These batteries don't get a lot of the credit that they deserve. I'll tell you that. These are very high power batteries. They're actually, hey Kim, how are you? They're actually half the size of a AA, and they're twice the power. How do you like that? CR123. That's what I have in my my special flashlight that I carry all the time. Let's see. Here. And this thing is really powerful. This in the daytime, just as an experiment, I almost blinded somebody for a minute and 43 seconds in broad daylight with a 1 second burst from this. All right. Hey, Dean, how are you? So that's our fake sponsor for tonight is CR123 batteries. I usually use Surefire brand, but I was desperate to get some, so I got them at the local battery store. So there's our fake sponsor for tonight. And just to be clear, they're not actually sponsoring us. All right. So, hey, Judy, how are you? Yeah, nice to see you. It's been 150 years, I think. Yeah, I think so. So let's see what we got going tonight. In the news section, I got a really important question for you. Can you have sex for 12 hours and live through it? Well, we're going to find out in the news section. Scams, we're going to talk about your Apple ID if you happen to have an iPhone or do anything with Macs. The brutal self-defense, don't line things up. Going to talk about quizzes in the internet section. And the speaking tip, don't turn your back on me. What are you doing turning your back on me? Well, I'm going to tell you why there. In the A-hole of the week, we've got just a raving maniac as the A-hole of the week. And the hero of the week, we got a grandma who saved a cop. So let's get to it here. So let's get into the weight loss announcement. Yay! So we started out 10 weeks ago reporting 44 pounds down. Then we went 45, then 49, 50, 51, 52, 54, 54, 58 last week. And this week, drum roll, 58 again, which to me is a winner. I hit 59 during the week, but then this morning, I always count Sunday morning weigh-in as what I report, and that's 58. So still doing good. And Roberto Candelaria started doing this same diet, and he's down, I think, 31 pounds. All right, so this is really great. Basically low carb, moderate protein and high fat. The ketogenic diet is what it is. Yep, thank you, Dean. Yes, sir, those pounds are disappearing, just like a good magician. Travis is, so we finally got the viral marketing book in my hands. Not done yet. It's, Dean, it's a ketogenic diet. It's, you put your body into what's called ketosis, which is perfectly safe. It's not ketoacidosis, which is something completely different. And I got inspired at dietdoctor.com, and the free version is plenty to get you started, but I pay $9 a month for the membership, and it's got all kinds of presentations, all kinds of great stuff, recipes, and everything you need to know. Anyway, the viral marketing book, as soon as now that I've got all the pieces, I can get that finished and get that out. Let's see. All right, let's get to the news. They say crime doesn't pay, right? Well, California, of course, California would be the one to bring this out. Is now you can get a luxury jail cell, no matter what you did wrong. I mean, you could have been an axe murderer, all right? Hey, Luz, how are you? You could have been an axe murderer, and for $100 a night, you can get a luxury cell with flat screen TV and yoga classes and all kinds of stuff. So I don't think I want to try it out myself, but if you do mess up, do it in California, and you can just take like a spa. I don't know, 20 years. Now, this is how bad things are getting, folks. Hey, Luz, thank you very much. Thank you. This girl, Josephine Garzinski, 18 years old, and her boyfriend, Curtis Britton, 27 years old, from Sheboygan, I guess that's New Jersey, maybe. All right, they're charged with armed robbery, right? Well, apparently, this is a feather in your cap, because all the girl Josephine could worry about was getting her dad to get her mugshot up on Facebook for her. That's the bar we've set for our youth nowadays. Get your mugshot after you're arrested on Facebook, and now you're the berries. That's it. You have accomplished what you need to accomplish in life. It's crazy. Now, next thing is there's a high school, Boylan Catholic High School in, let's see, where is it? Rockford, Illinois. Just put out a 21-page booklet on what is permissible to wear to the prom. And I thought, here's the thing. The sad thing about this, really sad thing about this, is that kids are so bad at reading nowadays, by the time they finish the booklet, they missed the prom. It's totally true. 21 pages. And here, for you ladies out there, for Women's Day or whatever happened last week, talk about sexist, 20 pages of the 21 were for girls. Just 21, just one page for boys. Oh, wear a tux or a suit. That was it. Everything for girls, from how wide the strap can be, if a strapped gown, if it's strapless, or maybe that's not allowed. If there's a slit, how high it can come. If it's a short dress, how high. I mean, everything. So, but I think instead of concentrating so much on what young girls can wear to the prom, maybe they should have written a booklet for priests on how not to molest young boys. Maybe that would be better spent time. And I'm not against Catholics or any kind of religion, but it just seems to me that they should be protecting the boys, and the girls can handle themselves. Now, everybody knows I'm proud of my weight loss, right? Yay! But there's something going on in the news nowadays, and it's really a disease, I think, is going around, and it has to do with weight loss and weight gain. And I mean, I don't know what we're going to do about it either. But Barbara Streisand is blaming Donald Trump for her weight gain. She says she gets up in the morning, has a cup of coffee, but then she has, hey, Alan, then she has pancakes with maple syrup, and it's Donald Trump's fault. But see, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Because the crazy nutcase Lena Dunham is blaming Trump for her weight loss. Right? So I don't know, because I guess a moderate would be a person that just didn't gain or lose any weight in political terms. I don't know. Now, many of you heard of Pokemon Go. All right, this game that just swept the whole world, right? But this game is dangerous in more ways than one. I mean, it's dangerous to, if these Pokemon things are on your weight loss. Stress causes us to gain weight, but stress also causes some people to lose weight. So, it balances out, Liz. But if this Pokemon stuff is, if it's in somebody's yard and they're sick of people, then they might shoot you. But this poor guy, reminds me of that Alanis Morissette song called "Ironic." The guy hit the lottery and then he died the next day. All right, called "Ironic." That's the name of the song. Very, famous song. So this guy, his name is Liang Weiming, and he had been, he's 67 years old, all right? This isn't a kid. What causes him to be stupid, I don't know. But he's really good at this Pokemon thing. He had a level 28, whatever that means, but apparently that's pretty serious. But he had this one creature that had eluded him called Lapras. And so he finally gets Lapras at some kind of resort and gets it, and then he has a fatal heart attack the next day. I'm sorry to laugh about that. Again, if your whole goal in life is to get level 29 at Pokemon Go, so just go listen to that song "Ironic" by Alanis Morissette. It's on YouTube, but it was like enormous song, and it's the same thing. Be careful if you go to Thailand for feeding the turtles. All right, I know people have been worried about this for a long time. But see, in Thailand, and I just love Thailand. When I went to Thailand twice. I was helping them with tourism, not sex tourism, but regular tourism. And they brought me in there, and I just loved it. The people were lovely. It was, really safe to go there, and the people. The waiter at your table is not trying to be an actor. That's his profession, and he wants to do it the best he can possibly do. Just lovely. And they had these spirit houses, which just the most cute tradition, where outside a house would be this little, it looks like an Oriental dollhouse. And even young people would, as they passed it, would stop and put a little bit of food on it or something as an offering to the gods who would keep your house safe. If it was an apartment complex, they had a fairly big one in the parking lot. And this is just these beautiful things, and you don't step on the threshold at somebody's house, because that's where the threshold God lives, and you don't want to offend them, and it protects the house. So you step over the threshold. So just beautiful little traditions and things, and beauty in the country, and elephants and all this. Alan says, Thailand is great. I remember when you first went, I had just started learning from you. Yeah, it's been quite a while. But apparently, it's good luck to throw a coin to a turtle. So they just had this turtle. Hey, Tina, how are you? They just had this turtle. They removed 915 coins from that the turtle had swallowed. So I don't know if they're going to keep up with that practice or not, or what. But 915 coins on this turtle. Hey, Roberto. Hey, Tina. So I wouldn't do that. Just give some food to in the spirit houses outside. Now, there's an article just came out, speaking of sex, which we weren't. It was the most bizarre ways that people died while having sex, and this is a perfect time to share this with any people you know that are real religious, and don't do that. Walt says hi. Walt's the new German Shepherd he got his first certificate for training. Awesome. You better hurry up if you want to meet Rubik's. So anyway, this is the most bizarre cases of people dying while having sex. 50-year-old Joji was his name. He was found 6 months after his demise because he had a 6-ton stash of porn magazines in his apartment that fell on him. They found him underneath 6 months later. I don't know how many magazines that is, or it could be videos. I don't know. But that's how he died. Poor Joji. Then a couple from Columbia, South Carolina, just down from here. Come on anytime, Roberto. So a cab driver, at 5 o'clock in the morning, sees 2 naked bodies. Hey, Warren. There's the Instagram guy, Warren. That's 1 more ton than mine, he says. Warren's got a 5-ton stash. So this cab driver sees 2 naked bodies laying in the street, dead, and they're dead. So he calls it in. And apparently they had been having wild sex up on the roof of the building, which is where their clothes were found, and they fell off. But my favorite one, now it's hard to have a favorite hearing about somebody die, but at least they're having fun when they went, right? So, Roberto says traditional media is dead, huh? Yeah, that's a big pile of porn. Hey, David. So my favorite one is a Russian guy died after completing a 12-hour orgy, right, with all his female friends. But how this came about is they bet him that he couldn't go for 12 hours. Right? So they all got together, and he made it 12 hours, but then he died of a heart attack, which was caused by the huge quantity of Viagra he had guzzled to prepare him for his friends. Boy, where do you find those kind of friends? I'd like to know. Do you have to go to Russia? Maybe that's where they're talking about Russia's trying to infiltrate us. That guy infiltrated a lot of Russians. I'll tell you, from 12 hours. Oh, man. Let's see. What VBBV? What is that? What is that, Roberto? Virginia Beach. I don't know. Something. BB. All right. So that's the news. Yeah, prescription labels. So let's go to the scam bag. Hey, that's where we find the scumbags, right? So you got to watch, and this has happened to me quite a few times, and thank God I didn't react to it because, you know, in the morning, and I'm tired at night, and I'm looking at my phone, and I get up in the morning, and I'm looking at my phone, and I saw this log into your Apple ID thing that popped up on my cell phone. And I said, why? I didn't buy anything. I just woke up. I didn't order more iCloud storage, nothing. So why are they asking me to, so I double clicked the button at the bottom, the start button, and then I swept up and closed that browser. Got rid of it. But apparently it's a phishing scam to get your stuff, to get your login IDs where then they can get access to your account, all your storage, everything. So if you get a pop-up out of nowhere that says to, yeah, one vowel makes a difference. Give me a vowel on scumbag and scambag. Yeah, if you see a pop-up out of nowhere on your phone, if you have an iPhone. Now they probably are doing this on Androids too, on the I think it's the Google Store. I can't remember when I used to have an Android. But unless you've just purchased something or attempting to purchase something, or, you know, an app or something, or storage, don't click on it. Do whatever you got to do to close that browser window to try to kick it out. So don't fall for that phishing scam on your cell phone. All right, self-defense tip. Boy, this is, I mean, these sickos out there, folks. I want you to later type into Google, drive-by shooters fire at family car. Drive-by shooters fire at family car. And there's video, there's dash cam video of this from the car behind. This, I mean, Jesus, what's the world coming to? So you see a car pull up to a stoplight. I think a stoplight, or yeah, stoplight. And it's a mom. You can't see them, but it's a mom and a 5-year-old and a 9-year-old in the car. Then you see another car pull up beside them, and somebody in the back seat pulls out. I couldn't tell exactly what the gun was, but it was a kind of a short assault type rifle. Well, short rifle they call it, I guess, or assault pistol maybe. But it was a big caliber because the magazine was that wide, so it was something serious. Maybe Alan can look at it and see. Out the back window and start shooting into this car. I mean, these weren't drug dealers. This is a mom with her 2 kids just driving, and they shot into the car. The guy must have been a total idiot, or just, I mean, he didn't hurt anybody, thank God, but could have. I mean, a high-powered rifle cartridge going into a family car could have killed the kids, could have killed the mom, could have blown through it into a store or a house. I mean, high-powered rifle, Jesus. So I'm thinking, my God, what do you do about that? Just out of nowhere, somebody pulls up next to you and starts shooting. So I'm going to give you something to reduce your chances here. There's all kinds of accounts: PayPal, email, bank, eBay, Facebook, etc. Never click. Always go direct. Okay, I think I went away for a second. Let me know if I'm back, folks. Put in your make some comments if you can see me. On my end, it quit on me. Typey, if you can see me. Okay, great. All right. So I was talking about the, got it, thank you. drive-by shooters. So if you're already, first of all, when you're pulling up behind a car, you got to get in this habit. Hey, Brett, how are you? You got to get in this habit. You hear me? You got to get in this habit. I want you, starting today, the next time you get into a freaking car, when you pull up behind another car, I want you to be able to see the tires of the car in front of you. No question about it. There's no reason for you to come up any closer than that. I don't care if there's 1,000 cars behind you. You're only talking 6 or 10 feet more where you're stopping to see the tires in the car in front of you. Why? That's so that you can angle and get the hell out if you have to. Because if you're stopped, and like this lady was, and a car comes up behind you, you're at a disadvantage already. You can't see what's going on. You know, this car pulls up next to you and starts shooting. Well, if you got room in front of you, you can bash into a car next to you or bash into that car and get out of there. All right. You can't always get out, but you can cause a lot of havoc on and be a moving target. All right. Yeah. Brett says he can. Have you been watching me drive? All right. So that's an absolute must. I want everybody to swear to me that they are going to do that. This costs nothing to be a little more safe. All right. All right. We'll see ya. Yeah. Roberto made a low-carb pizza. It's Walt's nighttime potty time. Walt's the new German Shepherd. So that's one thing you can do. And it's not going to stop somebody from pulling up and shooting at you, but it's going to give you a chance not to be a dead sitting duck. All right. You can move. All right. So that's the first thing. The second thing is if you are pulling up on a stopped car. Well, if there's a car at a stoplight and I'm in the other lane, if I want to stay, if there's a reason for me to stay in the other lane, I will pull up where the front of my car isn't past the back window of the other car. That way, for somebody to shoot at me, they'd have to get out the window and turn around backwards to try to shoot at me, which I could just angle right in and smash into their door, okay? Also, I don't want to make eye contact with any of these lowlifes. That's a sign of challenge to a lot of them. They'll look for any excuse, all right, to do something to you. So I don't want to make eye contact with them. I want them to be in front of me where I can see them or see what's going on in that car without them having an easy chance to get me. And if I see those doors open real quick, and so again, I'm going back to another tip that I told you all a long time ago, is you watch people's hands. If somebody jumps out of the car and their hands are visible, and then I'll look at their waist to see if they could be hiding a gun or something. All right, if they want to beat on my hood or something, you know, I'm staying in the car, staying safe, or I'll just take off, right? But if they get out with an AK-47, I'm going to smash into them and wreak havoc and blow the horn and haul ass, all right? Yeah, right before you got on, Brett, I said you must give yourself space when you are at a red light. And, well, if you're at a red light, if you're the first car at the red light, I don't go all the way up to the white line, all right? I stay back, which is kind of weird, right? But I don't care. It gives pedestrians less chance of getting pissed off at me. And the other person, for them to stay back even further would be really weird for them. So let them go up to the line. And that way I can smash into them if I have to, or take off. If there's nobody in front of me, I can just haul ass, forward. So anyway, look up drive-by shooters fire at family car, and you'll watch the video, and you'll say, holy shit, this is not something to mess with. But I need you to be aware when you're driving, see? Yeah, there's all kinds of what ifs, Brett. This isn't 100% anything here. This is just something because you got to be aware and leave yourself outs and be ready to smash in. And also, in my brutal self-defense class, I taught people how to smash through other cars, where to hit on the other car to give you the best chance of moving the car out of the way. All right, so maybe we'll talk about that another time. But anyway, you got to be more aware of what's going on around you and leave yourself space so that you can bust out of a bad situation and not be just boxed in where you're stuck and just in a shooting gallery, basically. Now, you can always get an armored vehicle, and don't think I haven't considered it. I mean, they're extremely expensive, and gas mileage is not so great, but then, you don't have to worry about small arms fire, but to stop anything like an AK or an AR, you got to have some serious, you got to have like one of the beasts like the president has. Okay, internet tip. One of the things you might want to think about, and we'll have a whole thing about this in the new books coming out, the viral marketing, but quizzes. People love quizzes. And you can build up a massive email list from quizzes. And I just want to throw that out to you that, and you'll start notice if you listen to this, you'll start noticing other sites that are doing quizzes and how they end up getting your email address, which a lot of times to get your results from the quiz, you have to opt in, and that's where they get email addresses. But some of them have produced 1 million email addresses because the quizzes were so cool. Now, there's lots of different quiz softwares to run quizzes, but here's 3 of them you can check out. I don't have a preference over any of them. Just make sure it'll do what you want to do. There's Lead Quizzes, Quiz Funnels, and WP Viral Quiz. Lead Quizzes, Quiz Funnels, and WP Viral Quiz. So think about doing a quiz and getting it to go viral, and you could get a lot of subscribers. I would make it something, though, that, you can do general quizzes, like what color are you? Or, what animal are you? But none of that is going to be something that you could pin to, I'm going to sell that person internet marketing or public speaking stuff, just because they answered a quiz what animal they are. All right, so general quizzes, you better have something general to sell people. But you got to try to think of something that's applicable to what you do. I mean, mine might be, what kind of speaker are you? All right, then I could put a bear or a tiger or a rat. I know a lot of rat speakers too. They wouldn't fill out the quiz, but I'd fill it out for them. Hey, Charlotte. All right, your speaking tip. I said, don't turn your back on me. Well, yeah, there's time. You hear that on all these low life and Toastmaster crap, trainings. But there is a time you turn your back on somebody. And basically, if I've given the audience something to do, all right, I want you to, pair up with your neighbor. I want, for 1 minute, you talk about, your goals, and then switch another minute, you talk about your goals. So I give them instructions on what to do. But then as soon as I say, are you ready? Go. I turn around and walk towards the back of the stage, turn my back on them. I'm taking myself out of the center of the focus. They're now the center of the focus. Now, I might only do it for a few steps and then sit down or twiddle my thumbs or look at the time, and then after a minute I'll say, hey, switch, and then they switch, and then boom, at the end of 2 minutes I'm back talking to them. But there's times when you want to take yourself out of it, and it's interesting for the audience. They feel like they're participating, and you don't have to be the big shot all the time. So they're indirectly they like that, and so yes, you can turn your back on the audience. I even twerked for the audience once. I gave them a twerk lesson one time. So that I wouldn't suggest that. I mean, if you look anything like me, all right, but some of you ladies might be able to get away with that, but probably not the best for guys like me, although it was funny as hell. Okay, now let's get to the a-hole of the week. This lady, I guess I could call her a lady. She, or maybe a shrew would be better, right? Shakespeare's Taming of the Shrew. This lady cannot be tamed. This lady is the biggest lunatic. Yeah, thanks for not giving us a visual on that twerk. Roberto left, but he actually has a recording of it somewhere. This lady is the freaking lunatic. And all you lefties out there, Charlotte's one of them, I think. What fucking nutcases are you? I mean, Jesus. This lady, and if you look her up, Tara Dublin is her name, you'll see the video because, let's say she's garnered 20 million comments. 19,999,099 of them are negative. What a fucking nutcase she is. She was driving through a neighborhood in probably California, I think she probably lives, and she sees a guy out in his yard that's got a Trump-Pence sign in and a Hillary for prison sign, okay? In his yard, not, okay, he's showing his political bent, but he's not bothering anybody. He just happens to be in his yard. She goes by, and her story, by the way, if you do watch her story of the video, she's edited it out, all the stuff that proves what a fucking cunt she is, all right? And I don't care if you don't like that. There's people, when there's names for people that some of them, they represent what that is, all right? Some people are pussies, some people are white trash, but if there's a thing as a cunt, that's her, all right? So she gives the guy the finger, starts harassing him as they have her on his security cameras catching her over and over again, driving by and bothering and harassing his girlfriend and everything. And so the guy finally gets sick of it, jumps in his car and starts chasing her. All right. So, and he's called 911, and the police catch up with both of them. And on her video, she says, I flagged down a police officer. The true story is he called 911 on her and said what she was doing. And so her whole rant is about, I was doing my First Amendment rights, and, this is a silent protest, and I'm only 105 pounds, and so he was chasing me and causing a public hazard. Okay, I'll take that as truth, okay? That is true. This is a silent protest, First Amendment rights, perfectly legal to do it. Is it a good idea to go down the street and pick out a perfect stranger who could be a bigger lunatic than you are and give him the finger nowhere? So she has this big argument with a cop about how, he's the problem. He's the problem. And the cop's saying, well, you shouldn't start just, you should just drive on. So this goes on for a 10 or 15 minute rant. It's all on video. And she's telling her friends, share this, like she's going to be a big hero. The whole world has trashed her like she's the fucking dumbest cunt on earth. And she went to the police station and said that the police officers should have more sensitivity training. I mean, fucking nutcase. And, this is the kind of stuff that's draped out on the left as being, my First Amendment rights, So that other guy was doing his First Amendment rights. And the thing is, and this goes back to the self-defense or anything. Just because you have, and this is why I don't like the stand your ground laws. Just because you have the right to do something doesn't mean it's a good idea in any fashion. That guy could have run her off the road, could have just stopped, disabled her car, killed her, anything. And and even though she was within her rights, she would be the one in the 105-pound little casket. All right, so you don't go around, causing trouble. And the policeman is saying, "Hey, you're causing a public disturbance," and they were going to take her in. So she's the dumbest asshole. But it's just indicative of the social justice, social justice people that just think they can do anything they want, and nobody else's opinion matters. And it's just us, that matter, and we're all morons, all us, deplorables. So she's the asshole of the week, probably of the century. Tara Dublin, Dublin. All right, but let's get to the hero of the week. Vicki Williams Tillman. Vicki Williams Tillman was running errands. This is a 51-year-old grandmother. And she's driving down the street and she sees a police officer in a tussle with I guess what they call him, a perpetrator. And a lot of other cars went by and just kept on going. So she stops and jumps out and jumps on the back, and the police officer the guy was getting the best of him. Now, first of all, folks, I got to tell you, I'm not suggesting any of you do this. I've talked about Good Samaritans before, and if you don't know what you're doing, you're probably going to get killed, all right? So, but anyway, she did it, and she jumped on the guy, the guy was going for the police officer's gun. She grabbed onto him and got him, and they all fell over. And she had the sense to call 911 and ask for backup, tell them what was going on. And by the time they got done rolling around on the ground, backup had showed up and got the guy, and everybody lived. Right? So, but the thing is this lady just had it in her. And I mean, she's a frail little thing. When they saw when the picture of him next to the officer's up here, her head's like right here, and he's hugging her, and she saved his butt pretty much. Brett, I want to make this very clear that I have in at least 2 other episodes talked about Good Samaritans, and don't be a Good Samaritan, because unless you're clearly an enormous force against something that you can take care of, it's just dangerous. You don't know what they're going to do. You don't know. This is like that dumbass Tara Dublin. The guy could have been, whether he's a Trump supporter or not, he could have been a crazy. I remember also telling y'all how I was in a train station and some fairly big young guy was begging, and I said, "Shut up, go get a damn job." And the guy attacked me, and that was my fault. My fault. All I had to do was just ignore him and keep on going, but I triggered that guy's mental illness or whatever, and she could have done the same thing and be dead right now. All right, so yeah, I'm not in favor of being a Good Samaritan or causing trouble or getting in somebody's face for no reason. But this lady, she did it, and it worked out good, and I'm kind of proud of her because she was older and still has this mentality of do right. All right, that's probably why I picked her. I had other choices, but she said, I'm going to do something right. This person needs help. I'm going to help them. And it was clear, so sometimes Good Samaritan setups or setups that 2 people were fighting, and some guy's beating the hell out of a girl, but she's in on it to get you to come over, and then they both rob you or kill you or whatever, or mug you. So I think what I'm saying here is that I'm applauding her thoughts in her mind to do right rather than bust up stuff and break windows and riot over nothing and cause trouble in the world. She wanted to do something good in the world. So good for her. That's Vicki Williams Tillman. Look her up too and see the story. All right. Well, we made it through another episode. Hey, Dr. Kelly, nice of you to stop by as I'm leaving, but you can watch the replay. So anyway, stay warm if you're up in the Northeast. Get your snow shovels out of here. You're going to get dumped on. And I love it. It's starting like 3 hours north of me and not coming near me. I love that. Yeah, please stay safe, stay warm, and stay home if you can. That's what I love. Stay safe and make some money if you can at home. All right, quit making everybody else rich and adding to the carbon footprint. All right, catch y'all later.